Hey everyone, I'm Carolyn Jones with Holistic Institute of Wellness.
Hey everybody, it's Jana Katovitz.
We hope you're doing well today. We wanted to talk a little bit about change and
Transformation.
Change and transformation. Yeah, so don't think it's any, newsflash or secret that we're in tremendous change. And I guess really the way I look at it is that's pretty much the only constant in life is change. And so, change brings about so many opportunities.
A lot of soul growth happens in change. No
Yes.
matter what the intensity of it tends to be, there's always soul growth.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's not so much the change, it's our approach to the change.
Right.
And so I know for me, I find that really being mindful of my attitude. Right? Because
Yeah.
attitude to me is 99% of it. So, and also looking through that lens.
Yeah. It's easy to run away with it,
Yeah,
right? To run away with a different attitude when something triggers us.
right.
And if something has gotten changed at the very last second, unbeknownst, out of our control,
Yeah,
and so, even though sometimes when we know change is coming, we still get triggered.
exactly.
So, right, the soul growth comes in that's the transformation of change.
Yeah,
Somewhere in there, we all have our own experience of becoming a different version of who we are.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so we just wanted to offer you all some, I guess maybe some insight or maybe just our approach or philosophy on change because, I think we both feel that it's really important to be considerate of other people's perspectives and views, especially in great change. Also looking at your own attitude, where you are, how you're approaching it, and being flexible.
Yeah.
That's a big one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because when
That helps.
we get set in that, I talk about a lot about fixed mindsets and growth mindsets. When we get in that fixed mindset, we're so locked in, and it's challenging. It's
Yes.
challenging for us when we're in that fixed mindset because we're not looking at everything around us that could actually precipitate, as Jana was saying, the soul growth.
The soul growth. It's interesting. I just had a thought. In the astrological world, if this is correct, there are fixed planets, right?
That's right.
And there are planets that are malleable, if that would be an okay word to use. But the fixed planets will create a rigidity
Right.
and will exacerbate other planets in the sense of what the other planets are doing and what their job is to do, if you will.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking about those experiences of when we try to grab on, and we grab on so tightly and try to either fix or try to save or try to keep it as is, and the tension that begins in our own bodies,
Right.
in our own minds, and
It's true.
our heart rate speeds up, or the anxiety or the emotions, different for everybody, but it's that fixed, attempting to stay fixed
Yeah.
at where you're at when change comes.
Right. Because I think we get very fearful, and I think we lock onto something and we get really attached to it, and so we get fearful at the thought of that going away from us, and so when that begins to happen, we grasp, and that creates a lot of anxiety in the body, because no matter how hard we grasp, we can't stop it from moving. And so that's why I said, it's important to be flexible.
Yes.
And to keep that open mind in your approach so that you can look at the opportunity for transformation.
Right.
And that's the time we're in right now.
Yes.
We're in this incredible time of change and transformation. And if we can just keep our minds open and be, I don't know, just ask, like, what does this time have to offer for us?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what can it provide for us?
Mm-hmm.
What can we be like on the other side of it?
Right.
If we allow ourselves to transform into what I like to think of as higher versions of ourselves,
Right.
where we are moving out of that fixed space into a more growth space, and we're actually open to what the transformation and change can bring to us.
Right. I wonder if change, and on a really big scale, if change got created purposefully, which it did, technically we would say it did because it's all part of the experience of being on the planet.
Right.
But part of the reason that change was created was to I totally lost my train of thought. I had the coolest thing to say, and I completely lost my train of thought. I guess I'm not supposed to say it. That is so funny. I had this great analogy. I was going to connect all these dots.
Yeah, I was totally with you.
Like,
I was sitting up here waiting.
I was just, yeah, I know. So was I. I was like, oh my God, this is good stuff. Wait till she finishes and then we'll go for it. It had something to do with the wonderful creator above creating change as one of the games, if you will, and how are the humans going to handle it when it comes up. And, right, and like everything we've talked about, is it going to be flexible? Are we going to be flexible? Are we going to be rigid? If we're rigid, are we going to at least be rigid and kind? Can we stay in our kindness?
That's a great point.
Is that possible?
That's a great point.
And if, oh boy, it's coming. It's right on the other side. And if we're not, right, then we've created a different situation that either we'll have to clean up later.
Right.
With apologies and all of that.
Yeah.
Or not, and sit in the guilt and the shame of it, right? There's always something attached to any action we make.
Right.
Some people call it a consequence, some people call it other things.
Yeah, karma.
Some people call it karma. This is true.
Yeah.
But change, transformation, right? The beautiful thing, if we can remember, during those times that it feels like we're really losing control, you're really losing your grip, and it doesn't feel like there's a net underneath. How do you want to be on the other side of it? Just like Carolyn said, what do you want that to look like? Right? What do you want that to look like? I know I want to be peaceful if I'm feeling like things are getting a little intense.
Right.
Because I can feel it scrambles. It scrambles me inside. And then I can't think clearly. And I know I always ask for peace.
Yeah.
And then I can do whatever needs to be done. Well, that wasn't bad.
You recovered.
I think I did.
It was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I would just say take a look at where you are right now and how you're handling the current time we're in. And are you able to find peace in this time? Are you anxious? Are you worried? Are you fearful? I know that everybody has a different belief system, right? So there are those of us that believe in God. There's those of us that believe in a divine creator of everything, the universe, angel guides, guardians, and higher self. It's all, either however you look at it, it's all part of that higher structure. So for me, this is the time in which I really have to rely upon my higher guidance, my trust, my faith in my Creator, in the divine plan, all that's occurring, to trust that this is leading us into a period of greatness, and that we have been given an incredible opportunity to look at our lives, reassess everything, everything that's going on, and how we do things, and what we want to change, and how we want to show up better, and the kind of people we want to be, and what we want to do in the world, and how we want to bring our gifts in, and how we want to change what we're doing right now, how we're being right now, into someone else, as far as, like I said, just that higher version of yourself.
Right. I was just thinking as well, even on a cellular level, there has to be change for the cells to respond to a situation.
Right.
Or, I think it's every 120 days, a red blood cell literally recycles itself. It changes, it transforms.
Well, yeah.
But cellularly, it's called, catalyst. It's similar to what we would say in the psych world, triggering catalysm. But there's a term in the physiology world, when a cell breaks down, it's a catalyst reaction. Catabolism is the name of it. Catabolism.
Okay.
So
that's cool.
And it's when the cell is changing itself, if I'm remembering this correctly.
Yeah.
I may be wrong, and I apologize if I'm wrong, and I will rectify that. But if I remember that correctly, when a cell goes to change, and remember, if a cell goes rogue, and it's now setting up for an illness, it's going in for a transformation, because the DNA, the messaging has now shifted.
Right.
The cell is not coming from a healthy point of view, it's now coming from a survival point of view. And there's catabolism, it'll break down because there are other cells coming on. But catabolism is transformation. So with humans, and again, just this experience we're all having right now, this is definitely a transformative time in the human soul.
Yeah.
In the human experience, however you want to word that.
Right. And isn't it true, like every 7 years we have like a complete changeover in our cellular structure? Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the whole body shifts. The whole body changes.
So we are in constant change.
Right.
All the time.
Right. Which is the interesting part about this experience as a human being.
Yeah.
Where along the path did it come to be a threat to change?
Right. That's a good question. It's like, when did we get so fearful of that change?
Right.
And how can we shift our perspective to actually embrace that change and get excited about it? And as opposed to thinking about, oh my gosh, what's this going to do? Being like, oh my gosh, what's this going to do? It's just that little bit of a switch, and we can change everything. And again, that goes back to our attitude, about our perspective, our open-mindedness, all of that.
It's beautiful.
So it's really in our approach. And, Jana, you and I were talking earlier about how, and we talk about this a lot actually, about how this particular time that we're in, I mean, it's been coming for a long time. And it was really prophesized.
Yes, it was.
And so,
actually,
and now it's here. And so now the choice is ours, and
yes, it is.
how we want to proceed through it.
Right. Because change is inevitable.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping.
Right.
The planet will not stop spinning.
Right.
She has her own orbit, right?
Right.
She's in orbit. She's got her own spin, but then planet Earth has got her own orbit, and then the solar system has its own orbit.
Yeah.
And then the solar system becomes the galaxy. It's got an orbit. Nothing changes. Nothing is static.
Right.
So, and again, it was prophesized. We've spoken to this before. All you have to do is go back in the scrolls. whether it's the Bible, whether it's Hindu scrolls, the Buddhist scrolls,
Lemurian scrolls.
Lemurian scrolls. It was prophesized, and it simply has to do with what they're calling the end of a cycle.
Right.
And it's a 26,000 year end cycle, and also a 75,000 year cycle. It's just the end of a cycle.
Right.
It's transformative. We are at the precipice of transformation.
And really, didn't that 26-year thousand cycle, didn't it end in 2012?
12.
So really everything, in 2012 there was a major shift.
Yes.
But it's really, I think, taken till now
Yes.
for us to see it to be so, I would just say, so prevalent. I mean, we've watched things shift and move over the last, 8 years. But now it's like everything has come to the forefront. And the interesting part of this is, too, is that, you were mentioning earlier about the fixed planets. And astrologically, this entire year has been set up to support us through this great change. And it's I like to think of it sometimes. So when I was in college, I took all of the, I'm just going to say the easy elective classes my first couple of years, right? So my last 2 years of college, I mean, it was like I got to get serious.
Yes.
I've got to get everything in alignment here, because if I don't get these classes complete, I'm not going to graduate. So my last 2 classes of college, here was my option. I could take organic chemistry back to back in the summer, or I could wait 1 more year to graduate. Well, I chose to do it back to back in the summer.
Yeah.
And I probably spent the majority of my summer in the library. So, but you know what? That was okay, because I got through it. And that's kind of how I think of this time. It's like trying to figure all this out, and these are some hard courses, but I'm thinking, wow, if I can get through the next several months, then next year is going to be awesome. And that's kind of how I look at it.
So we should all go to the library?
Well, it helped me.
I like the library.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Okay, I'm good.
It's a good place.
Plenty of books.
Yeah, I mean, and if you think about it in that way, like, you could go to the library it doesn't have to be like a literal library, but it could be.
It's true.
I mean, it could be, but it could also be a space that you go into for the next several months to just be in peace and
It's true.
and maybe read, maybe find new creative projects, maybe study some new topics or look into some new courses, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, really, versus getting so caught up in everything that's going on around us. Maybe it's an opportunity for us just to look deeper within ourselves. And I think this month coming up, and as we enter into September, I think that's going to be our opportunity, is to look even deeper within ourselves, and have this opportunity to change and to move forward, and and to transform. And it's kind of like the butterfly, right? It's like the chrysalis state,
Yeah.
right? We're in the
Yeah.
cocoon, and then we are, we're in that cocoon for a period of time, and then we bust out, we become these gorgeous butterflies, these beautiful wings. So just kind of think of yourself in the cocoon right now, and that on the other side of it, you're going to transform into this beautiful butterfly.
It's like shopping for a new wardrobe.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We look and we look and we look, and we finally find something.
Yeah.
And we are so happy when we buy that new piece of clothing.
Yes. Yeah.
Or shoes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's exciting and it's transformative, because when we put on a fresh, brand new outfit, right, you can feel the difference.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? It just kind of puffs us up, and we feel great in it, and we feel confident.
Yeah.
And that's transformative.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So take
I
this
love the library.
time and think about ways that you can support yourself through this change. Think about ways that you can shift your perspective and increase your awareness. Think about things that you can do to expand your mindset to where you're not in such a fixed mindset, more in a growth mindset. Focus on gratitude, all the things that are working in your life. Eat great food, stay hydrated, get out, get exercise, be in nature, enjoy good friends, family, your animals, just try and enjoy everything around you,
It's very important.
It is. It is. And just soak in life a little bit.
Yes.
And relax and breathe.
That's good.
Right?
That's right.
I mean, the breath is so important. We have to breathe.
As we've said. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
But
a lot
it's
of
true.
times we hold our breath.
We hold our breath because we get fixed and rigid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us, that is a very normal state of being. It is so normal. People don't know it until they're out of it.
Right.
But it's an old coat they've worn for the longest time, and
Yeah.
they're just not even aware of it.
Yeah.
And that's why also this can be a very uncomfortable time right now for a lot of people.
Mhm. Yep.
This is unforeseen. There's other things going on that were unforeseen, and so that's very different for us. And but I agree. Just when it feels uncomfortable, just stop and take a breath. Right? We've said that before many times.
It's kind of our motto.
kind of our motto.
Stop
I
and
agree.
take a breath.
Stop and take a breath.
Well, Jan, I thought today, if you were up for it, we could draw a card.
Yes,
And I see that you brought your handy deck here.
I did.
Work
Work your light.
your light. And I thought we could ask, I thought we could just maybe call everybody's divine team in and ask for a collective message for all of us and how we can embrace this time we're in, how we can move through this change with ease and grace,
Yes.
and just continue to flow to the other side of it.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. So let's all just take a moment,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment, close your eyes. I want everybody to beam toward the camera, right? Toward the deck of cards, right? I want you to beam at the deck of cards. Give us your beautiful, loving energy. So this will be a collective card that we are about to pull. This will be the energy of what we all need to hear at this moment. Beautiful. Keep beaming, please. I'm going to shuffle a couple more times. And then I will pull when I feel ready to pull. And Spirit feels that it is time to hear the message. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
The crumbling. What are you clinging to? Oh my God.
That is such a great card.
That is hysterical.
You know what's so interesting, Jana? So
Oh my gosh.
I think it was last month, I did some
Wow.
Facebook Lives on our Facebook page, Holistic Institute, and I would I'm still doing them, but I was using this particular deck, and
yes.
we must have, I'm gonna say we because it's always collective, but I think we drew this card at least a good 3 or 4 times.
Did we?
Yeah, it's a very
Wow.
profound message.
Yes,
So
it is.
yeah,
Change and transformation.
change and transformation.
What are you clinging to?
What are you
What are you
clinging-
afraid will change? Are you afraid of the change?
Right.
What will it look like if it changes?
Yeah.
What will it look like? What are you clinging to?
Should I read it, or do you
Sure.
want to?
No,
Okay.
go for it.
There is a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, Anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and to society as a whole. So you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are.
Nice.
When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. You are being called to surrender, to stop trying to hold it all together, to loosen your grip, to let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. Let me read that one more time. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend everything is okay? You have what it takes to allow what is falling away to tumble and fall.
Nice.
Once the tower has crumbled, you will be able to rebuild your home on solid ground with mighty foundations and a view that is so magnificent that it will take your breath away each new morn.
Wow.
Kali, the goddess of destruction, and the Black Madonna are with you now. Lay it all on their altar. They can hold it all for you. So the inquiry is, what are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place?
Wow. So the void, because it leaves a void, right? Anytime you transform, there's always going to be a void in between.
Right.
Always, always, always.
Yeah. So here's my suggestion. Write this question down
Wow.
on a piece of paper.
Wonderful.
Sit with it. Take a few moments, a couple of deep breaths, and ask yourself this question that I just read, and allow yourself to just journal out the first thing that comes to you and see what you're clinging to. See what you're holding so tightly to, whether it is a perspective, a belief, a condition, your own conviction, whatever it is. Just see what you're clinging to and not allowing yourself to let go of for fear of nothing coming to take its place.
Yep.
Because when you see that and you're able to look at it, it's going to clear and open the door for greater things.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a great way to finish this little chat.
Yep. It's awesome. Well, Jana, thank you
Okay.
so much for joining me today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Absolutely. And thanks to you all for continuing to follow us and support us. We so
Yes.
appreciate you, and we look forward to our continued service.
Absolutely.
Be well,
Absolutely.
everyone.
Be well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.